In today's session, we're going to continue on the series on leadership and workforce alignment and engagement. And this is a necessary condition to be a high-performing organization. We need leadership and the workforce to be aligned. We also need that engagement so that everyone's working together as a team to achieve the company goals. Today's session, we're going to focus on active listening and effective coaching. So we really want to understand what are the elements to be a good active listener and what is the skill set necessary to be an effective coach. Last session, we talked about the Socratic method and how to engage in conversation using questioning, using the Socratic method. Today, we're going to build on that concept and learn about active listening, and then using the active listening, the Socratic method, to be an effective coach. So when creating a conversation, we want to start out by asking open-ended questions. So open-ended questions are questions that require more than a one-word answer when creating that conversation. And then during the conversation, as we're listening to what the person's saying to us, we're going to start to ask probing questions. So if something's not clear or you don't understand what the person's saying, you're going to use a probing question to dive a little deeper into that subject matter so we can understand their current mindset. And then we're going to use leading questions. Leading questions are where you repeat back to the person what you heard, and that's used for clarification and understanding purposes. So you would say, okay, did I hear you correct? Did you say this, this, and this? If that's correct, then they're going to confirm that. And again, to understand a good leading question, you need to be an active listener. So when we look at active listening, what are the 7 keys to active listening skills? So first of all, be attentive. So maintain eye contact with the person you're talking to. Don't get distracted. And then we're going to start out by asking those open-ended questions. And then if there's clarification needed, we're going to ask those probing questions. And then if there's more clarification, we're going to use the leading question to repeat back what we heard. Then keep note-taking to a minimum and paraphrase what the person said. Be attuned to their feelings, so don't make them upset. And then at the end, summarize and then talk about what the next steps are going to be. So the keys to active listening, it's a crucial communication skill that focuses on understanding and responding to the speaker. And it helps build stronger relationships, helps resolve conflict, enhances effective communication. And then you want to be giving your full attention. Don't have distractions and concentrate on the speaker. Maintain that eye contact, so don't have your phone, turn your phone off, right? Show that you're fully engaged in the conversation. And we look at some of the elements of that as show empathy. So empathy involves understanding and sharing feelings and the perspectives of the speaker. So try to see their point of view and then convey and genuinely care about their feelings and concerns. And again, it's all about perspective. So you need to have your perspective, and then you need to put yourself in the speaker's perspective so you can see the situation from their perspective. Next, use nonverbal cues. So body language and facial expressions are extremely important. And then so you want to show that you're actively listening by nodding, smiling, showing facial expressions, and reflecting the speaker's emotions. Also, you want to avoid those interruptions. We talked about that already. Use affirmative responses. So use verbal cues when actively listening, such as, oh, I see what you mean. Can you tell me more about that? Oh, that sounds like an interesting problem. Can you explain that in more detail? And again, we're using those open-ended questions. Avoid judgment. So refrain from making assumptions too early in the conversation. If you make those assumptions too early without all the details, then you're probably going to make wrong assumptions or offer up wrong advice. And again, we want to make sure we're listening well, because the person that we're speaking with might not be a great communicator. So they might be saying things, but you really need to understand what they're trying to tell you. And so that questioning is an extremely important concept to get the true conversation and the true meaning of what they're trying to communicate. And then reflect on your own biases. So be aware that your own biases might affect your perception of what's being said. So try to keep personal biases out of it and then listen with an open mind. and then provide that feedback. So share your thoughts, share your perspectives, ask clarifying questions, and again, use examples, use experience, use those things to reinforce the conversation so that you really understand the issues and that you're really engaged in the conversation and really understand the issues and problems before you start offering solutions. Now, to be an effective coach, now we have our effective listening skills. Now, to be an effective coach, we need, first of all, to have deep knowledge and expertise in the area that we're coaching. So don't try to coach something that you don't have a lot of experience in. So we need to do our homework. We need to be educating ourselves on different concepts, understanding different concepts, and have depth of knowledge in certain areas, and also a broad business perspective. So I try to focus on having a broad business perspective so I understand all the elements of the business, but also having deep understanding of different concepts within different functions in the organization. And I pride myself on being a systems thinker. So that's one of my expertise, is understanding systems and how to manage variability within a system. So you need to have that depth of knowledge so that you can have great conversations. Then also help the person set goals, achievable goals. So if you heard of SMART goals, those are the ones that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And then provide regular feedback. So don't give the person a coaching lesson and then let them go on their own. Have periodic meetings with the person you're coaching to provide them feedback on specific actions and how they're doing against the actions that you set for them, and providing them guidance and maintaining focus so that they're working on the correct things to solve the issues that they were working on. And then, of course, you need to be a motivator. So make sure you motivate the person toward meeting their goals and recognize and celebrate success, no matter how small, and encourage perseverance in the face of challenges. So make sure they don't give up. So remember, coaching is not about imposing your own ideas or solutions, but guiding individuals or teams to discover and implement their own solutions and achieve their goals. Building strong relationships of trust is a fundamental part of effective coaching. These are the keys to help you become a successful coach in various contexts. And again, we want to apply the Socratic method. So when applying the Socratic method, remember, prepare before the meeting or discussion. Make sure you understand the subject matter clearly and deeply before you go into the conversation. And again, never tell the person that you're speaking with that they're wrong or don't know what they're talking about. Use the appropriate type of question to create the conversation. Those are open, probing, and leading questions. Use analogies when possible to demonstrate change in thinking if required, if we need to change the mindset. And I can't express more: practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you get. The better you get, the more effective you'll be. And that's the key to coaching and active listening. So that's our session for today. Thanks for watching. Connect with me on LinkedIn, visit our website, go to our YouTube channel where we have lots of videos on becoming a high-performing organization.